What's up everybody, Brian Tong here, and in my hands, this is a very first look hands-on video of the new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Now, look at this, you can tell, right? More curved corners and edges, that has been a refinement. Also, the actual phone is slightly thinner than the S25 Ultra, so easier to hold in hand. They've done this by, on the camera side, the cameras have actually been raised out, pushed out a little bit, while the body has been slimmed down. But look, I'm giddy about this phone because this has a world's first ever privacy display. And what do I mean by that? Look, I'm gonna show you. So here I'm holding the phone, you can tell, right? Look, this is the normal behavior of a display, but I'm gonna come down here and we're gonna go into privacy display. And I'm actually gonna say turn on privacy display. And what you'll see now is when I hit done, now when you look at this screen, I turn it slightly and you cannot see what's on the display. I can when I'm looking at it straight on, but on the side, no, nada, nothing. Now let's show you another thing. I'm gonna go back here and go back into the privacy settings, and I'm gonna turn this privacy display off. But look, conditions for turning on. We can set this to actual apps or features, and right now it's set to something like messages. So I'm gonna hit done. We're gonna go back to our home screen, and now when I open, you can see here, look, the screen is behaving normally, right? I'm gonna open up the messages app now and watch. Privacy has been turned on just for messages. Is that freaking insane and cool? So you can actually set that for specific features. Another cool thing, right? Again, back to using the screen, back to normal. Now, another really cool thing in here is we can go to the privacy display. It's shown here that notifications is another thing. So we got a demo with a woman who showed us that when a notification is set, up in this area where that notification bubble shows up, just that specific area is set to private and blacked out. So what it means is not only can it be your entire phone or specific apps, specific sections of the display can be turned private. And that is something so incredible that we just have never seen before. And then one more thing I wanna show you here in the privacy display options. Here's one that's called maximum privacy protection. What does that mean? They're actually gonna adjust the black scale here, like what's the reference for a black point? It becomes a little grayer, but what makes this even more impressive is, let's say you wanna sacrifice some of that visual quality, it doesn't matter to you as most, but then when you turn it, it's a really, I'm barely turning this now compared to what I did before, and you can see the entire screen goes black. You can't see a thing, and this is just one of the coolest things that we have seen on a phone. It's been a few years for us to get excited about something like this, but this is built in to the display. So we're here back in the hotel. We're gonna show you more shots from the hands-on experience, but without a doubt, I mean, this privacy display, the customized hardware for it, it is absolutely the feature that stood out of this entire launch for the S26 Ultra specifically. Now let's go back a little bit and talk about some of the design here. Now this is the slimmest and lightest S26 Ultra ever. What contributes to this? They're using a new material called Armor aluminum. The regular S26 and the S26 Plus, that's still using the standard aluminum from before. So this is specific to the Ultra that helps with that. Again, the corners are a lot more rounded. It just feels a lot more comfortable in hand. And the fact that it's also 7.9 millimeters thin. Now, if you look at something like this, I'm holding the Z Fold 7, which has some of my notes on here. This is 4.2 millimeters thin. So this is like super thin. And if you talk about something like the S25 Ultra, that was 8.2 millimeters. So they have gotten it slimmed down. Another part of this is you will now see the cameras actually, they're raised and they're bulging out from the actual body, different from what the S25 had. So you look at this design, I'm gonna tell you right now, they take some cues from Apple because the camera array is using a translucent glass around those three lenses. Just look it up. Everyone borrows ideas from each other, and that's here. But what it does contribute to is the fact that in hand, the actual phone is thinner and more comfortable to hold, and you will have a larger camera bump, but in a weird way, what phone doesn't have a camera bump now? Colorized with the entire S26 to S26 Plus to S26 Ultra lineup, you have cobalt violet, that's kind of like the flagship color here. You have a white color that looks a little porcelain, a sky blue, which is a light metallic blue, and black. And then online exclusive, there is a silver shadow and a pink gold, which is a little bit of a rose gold. They do that a lot, right? Exclusive online colors during the launch. Let's talk a little bit about performance. Look, the reality is that as over the past few years specifically, their partnership with Snapdragon has really resulted in a device that does not lag, feels flowy, feels smooth, and just really snappy. So they're using the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for the Galaxy, but this is a second generation of it under the hood. And what does that mean performance-wise? Whether you feel this or not, you're getting 39% up for the NPU performance, 25% up for the GPU performance, and 19% increase for the CPU. So in real world use, I don't know how much you'll feel that. Those numbers are just specifically for the S26 Ultra. A lot of the stuff that we're focusing on is the Ultra, so it does get a spec bump, but again, I think the NPU number might be the one that sticks out the most because there's so many more AI tasks that are involved, and we'll talk about those in a second. Now, we know that Samsung obviously makes their own displays. If you didn't know, some of Samsung's displays are actually in the Apple products that you own. So they're able to use this technology and bring some of the stuff they have from their TVs into their actual phones. And one of those features is called Pro Scaler. And what this does is, just like they do in their TVs, the actual display upscales content that might be lower resolution, makes it crisper, brings up the color boost in it, so you get a better image. This is obviously some AI processing that helps in doing that, but that is one of the new features that is coming to the S26 Ultra. Another thing, also their displays now support more shades of color, up to 1 billion different colors. And here's an interesting thing for, let's say, someone who really cares about the highest fidelity and quality video. So last year, their display was able to showcase 8-bit color while you were able to record in 10-bit color. Now this year, 10-bit color display and 10-bit color recording. So that's for people that are really for those creative professionals that want to optimize and get that best experience. This phone has it. We got a little cool sneak peek of the new vapor chamber and what is different about it. So take a look at this. Not too much, but on the left side, the S26 Ultra vapor chamber is 2% larger, but that's not what makes it more efficient. What they've done is actually on the surface, the dimples that you see, that's what pulls the heat away from the processor. They're deeper, there's more dimples, and then you have these two little lines, they call them abrasions. On the S25 Ultra, there's a single line. On the S26 Ultra, there's two. So this all contributes to better performance with this new redesigned vapor chamber. Also, just for you RAM nerds, you want to know how much memory this has. The S26 Ultra comes loaded with 16 gigs of memory. The S26 Plus and S26, those come with 12 gigs of memory. Now, last year, that was 8 gigs. So overall, this is going to help the longevity. And at the bottom line, like, you're getting better performance across the board. One of the criticisms of the S25 Ultra was that its charging wasn't fast enough. At that time, that model supports up to 45 watts. So now they're introducing what they call super fast charging 3.0. So with the S26 Ultra now, with a wired connection, you can get up to 60 watt charging, the S26 Plus 45 watt charging with a wired connection, and the S26 25 watt charging. Got all that? I got more numbers for you. Let's talk about wireless charging, okay? So if you want to break that down, let's start at the top, the S26 Ultra, that gets up to 25 watt wireless charging, S26 Plus, that is 20 watts, and then S26, 15 watts. The other thing that people were hoping for, maybe still isn't here, Qi 2 wireless charging with that magnet, right? We've seen Pixel 10 Pro really embrace that. We obviously seen Apple in their ecosystem of MagSafe use the magnets. That is not built into the device, and Samsung said they made a choice to do this because they wanted to keep the phone actually slimmer, so you do have the option. They have a bunch of accessories and cases that have that magnet in there that allows you to, when you use a case from them, to enable your phone to now support Qi 2 wireless charging with the magnetic connection. So you can get it, but you'll need to put a case on it. Of course, our phone is our camera is our phone, so there were a couple improvements here that we want to talk about. Let's look at the camera system itself. So that wide 200 megapixel camera, they've increased the aperture to 47%, allows more light, allows more detail. And then if we're talking about the 50 megapixel telephoto camera, that gets up to 37% more light with a better aperture. And this is gonna, again, better detail, better color. Okay, those are specs, those are nice, right? We know, I'm more curious about how the photos are processed, because we've noticed over the years that Samsung tends to oversaturate some of their images. Maybe they've pushed back on that. We'll see how that, how that all plays out with our tests and our reviews. But let's also talk about some of the other camera features, at least that we played on. There's so many of them, so we won't be able to check out all of them, but super steady video. Okay, this is really interesting. There's an auto correction up to 360 degrees. So essentially, this has a real-time gyroscope on it. You can see me running towards the camera, and almost twisting the camera a full 180 degrees. But then when we come back and play it back, you'll notice there's little to minimal movement on that. That's pretty actually amazing for a phone. And what they're doing is taking, the 8K sensor that they have and then really focusing on the 4K video, right? And that enables it to give it that leeway to make those adjustments on the fly. So you're looking at a 4K image that essentially is pretty darn freaking steady because they're using all that information. We talked about the 10-bit color support, so in case you wanted to get a little bit more information, this also now supports lossless video recording, 8K, 30 frames per second. So just another thing to add into your toolkit. Now let's also talk about the selfie here. We've seen how important that is. This now has an improved 85-degree field of view, so we can make that larger. You still have those hand gestures that you can use to set off the camera, but that is an improvement as well. If we want to talk about some fun media content capture, you can take a photo of anything, but they have a new photo assist feature. This is really using the power of Google's Gemini engine to really allow you to, let's say we have this picture, a photo we took of this cake, and it has a slice missing from it. And I literally said, make the cake look whole. And then you wait a little, and it looks like the cake has been completely untouched. And then later I said, let's put us on an island. And it completely changed the background. But if you notice, the other dishes of fruits or whatever were still there. We were just like in an island environment. You can do a lot of other wacky things. We didn't have much time to play with it, but this is one of those generative AI features that you can have fun with, but it actually looked pretty good and kind of a little too good. We know that a lot of these AI features, they are built off on the backbone of Google Gemini. So Audio Eraser is a feature that existed before on Google's phones, and this allows you to really focus on the voice, remove background noise to give you a better audio experience. Now, before that was just limited to videos that you recorded. They have now allowed you to take this API essentially and apply it and work with third-party applications. So what does that mean? If you're watching a YouTube video and the audio, the background audio is not the best, you can actually turn on this audio eraser feature. It's in the drop-down menu, and remove some of that background audio on a pre-existing video that is streaming to you online. This works with things like Instagram and Netflix and YouTube. Hopefully you don't have to use it on any of my videos. Now this next feature I can't really show you, so I want to talk about it, but we talk about artificial intelligence and AI, and if you've heard of this term, agentic AI, what does it really mean? Essentially, we're having an agent or an app work for us. And what do I mean by that? With my voice, instead of me going into an app and saying, hey, I need to select and type in my address of where I want to go to directions, we could actually verbalize this. So for the first time, at least what Samsung is doing, they're going to roll this out to rideshare apps. So instead of going into any app, I can just say, hey, I want to call an Uber to take me to the San Francisco airport. And it will do all that stuff in the background and give you a result. The app is working for you, but you just say that. And this is what I've always talked about when people say, why is AI important? How can it be different and better for us? This is the type of thing, doing tasks and making them simpler. Something like, they aren't doing this yet, but we're talking about making dinner reservations through OpenTable, having it sort through all that clutter and all that mess and make the reservation for you right when it becomes available. That would be a cool way to do things, right? Or something for me that hasn't happened, connect and talk to Amazon and say, hey, I want to return those diapers that I got last week. And it just makes a return code. You go over to a drop-off location. This is the type of stuff where AI, in my opinion, can become more beneficial for consumers like us and is easy to use and easy to understand. So Samsung is starting this off first with rideshare apps using this agentic AI. So there were so many more features that I didn't talk about, right? There's no way I was going to get through everyone. But again, what are my first impressions? I think the S26 lineup as a whole, very solid. I do like how they're leaning into the Ultra as truly, this is one of the most compelling phones I think we're gonna see this year with that privacy display. I just don't see how anyone this year is gonna come up with a more useful and more important and more compelling feature. They can surprise me, but I think this is the feature of the year for the phone in 2026. I do enjoy the design. The One UI experience is still very pleasant to use. The performance is great. People are like, Brian, don't you use an iPhone? I use an iPhone, I use a Z Fold 7, I use a Pixel 10 Pro, I use them all, but the S26 Ultra specifically for me, I really love what they're doing. Now, all the phones that we have here, you can pre-order them right now, right? That's February 25th, and then they will be available on March 11th. We talked about the 2 exclusive colors, price-wise, what we're looking at, the S26 Ultra will start at $1,299. That is actually the same as before, but then if we're looking at the S26 Plus and the standard S26, those have increased in price by $100, whether that's a combination of new features and also that bump in memory. I think that's really where you're seeing it. But overall, a very solid lineup. Can't wait to actually review and live with these products for a while. You will see the review on this channel, but there you go, a first look at the S26 Ultra and the S26 lineup here from San Francisco. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Come back to the channel, all right? Peace and love.